Hello everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to my garage. Well, as I promised last video, I did say that the next one would be another part in the milling machine kit. Well, here we go. And as I said, I was going to attempt to have a go at doing the main spindle. Well, let's do that. It's a beautiful day. I feel nicely motivated to get on with it. I've already pre-set up the lathe with the collet chuck ready for doing this. So what I'll do, I'll bring you over to the bench and we'll have a look at the plans and what I've got to do. So this is the plans that I've got to work to. I've got to try and hog that particular bit of kit out of that bit of 5/16 cold rolled steel. Don't know how well this is going to machine with it just being plain cold rolled, so be interesting to find out whether it machines decently or not. Thankfully I've got a collet that this will fit in quite nicely. I've already checked that. I think the trickiest part that I foresee in this is going to be the, as it calls for right here, it needs to be a number a number 51 drill all the way through the length of it, and this is full size. This is not double scale, so I've got to drill a number 51 hole through about that length there, all the way through. So that will be fun to say the least. So I think that's what's probably going to be the trickiest part of this whole operation. The rest of it all seems to be fairly straightforward, just some straightforward diameters and turning to shoulders. So let's move over to the lathe and get it set up in the chuck and start laying out some bits. Oh, sorry about that. Just had a nice big glass of Coke. Not sponsored. Anyway, as you can see, I have my ER32 collet chuck set up in the spindle nose. This is a fairly recent addition to the shop. It's a 3D printed spindle protector for this because I'm actually surprised nobody made any comments about protecting the register and thread last time I used the collet chuck on here. So I decided anyway to go out and just get a 3D printed thing to cover the register and the threads, because at the end of the day, the accuracy of this determines the accuracy of the entire machine. So got to preserve that. Anyway, got my bit of bar. Now, which end do I want to start from? Which end looks the nicest? Doesn't really matter. They're both sheared, so they're both pretty rough. That fits in there. Now, I want to make sure I've got enough stick out. So I need a total of 250. So, I mean, 2 inches 50, 2 inches 500. Jesus, I can't speak today. So I want to make sure I've got enough then to part it off. So I need at least that amount sticking out. It's quite a bit of stick out, not going to lie. But it's necessary. So yeah, I'm thinking about there. Should be good enough for me. So that looks about a good length to me. There we go. Let's get that tightened with my bell end spanner. Yes, I have a bell end spanner. And I have just use a pair of adjustables to hold this while I tighten this. Because I simply don't want to put all the load on the spindle and risk it spinning in the taper. Now I can release the spindle lock, and there that spins. And looking at that, that doesn't seem to have a bend in it either, which is quite nice. So I don't need to worry about that. I will need to put some centre support in. So let's bring my carriage in, get the light a bit more focused where I'm going to need it. And first things first will be to face it off. Obviously, as is tradition, as ye olde blondie hacks would say. So let's power this up. Wait for the inverter to kick on, which can take a few minutes. You can probably hear that in the background. the fan kicks on. Lovely. Spindle lock, yep, is off. My feed screw's in neutral right now because I don't need that for the moment. Let's pick out a tool. Simple knife tool. Should be on centre height because I keep all my tools on centre height. Let's start this thing going. That seems to be running fairly nice. Right, let's face this off. Let's come in and touch off. Got to do this carefully because of the stick out. There we go. That is nicely faced off, nice and true. Wind that back out of the way and I'll bring myself a centre drill in. So let's wind that in. Bring the tailstock in. Go and grab my centres. So we're in with a number 2 centre now. I'm going to bring my tailstock in a bit closer. Let's get that going. Grab some cutting oil. I don't want to snap off my centre drill. There we go. That did that quite nice. Lovely. Right. Now let's take that out of there. And then I'm going to swap this over for my live centre. Swap the chuck over for a live centre rather. I need to support this bar, so let me go and grab that. Okay, that's got that in. Let's make sure I've got room to get in, which is going to be about there. Lock that in place. Bring me centre in. Turn it on. Lock that off. There we go. It's nicely supported now. So, let's get a measurement on the outside of this to start with, so I know what I'm starting with. So to start with, I am at 300 and... I'd say that's 310, maybe 311 thou. So that's pretty much accurate to 5/16. So that's that nicely. Okay, so I need to take this down. The outer register, so as you're looking at the plans, there's a larger boss here, and you've got a reduced section and another reduced section. Obviously I'm going to put this thinnest section at this end of the part here, because it's a bit awkward to turn steps going the other way. I mean, it's doable, obviously, but it's a lot more awkward. So I'm going to start off by just going the whole thing to this outer dimension, which, according to this, actually should be left at the the standard diameter. Now that is odd. That's odd. The main OD is the standard 5/16. Now, to be brutally honest, I find that a little strange and a little bit bad, personally. But if that's what it calls for, that's what I need to leave it as. However, I think I might just take a skim cut, purely and simply to enable, for this register here, I'm going to take a skim cut anyway, because as you see, if I spin it up, there is some wobble in the part. So it's not bent, but it's also not concentric. So I'm going to clean it up. So I'm just going to run all the way along there as close as I can get in to try just to as light a path as I can get till it's cleaned up. I want it to be a fresh, a nice clean outside cut. So I've had to switch out to my dead centre because it turns out my live centre is knackered. Yay! More fucking expense to buy new bearings for that piece of shit. Anyway, so that's fun. I discovered that what was happening was that it was binding up, kept binding, grabbing the part, producing an awful lot of back friction on this, which would then was causing the spindle to heat up, the actual main bearing here to actually start to heat up and overheat. So I had to rather drastically and quickly fix that issue. And so while you were away, behind your back, I took down a skim on here. Seems pretty nice. It cut that nicely. It's a bit of a rough finish, but I can polish that up afterwards with some Scotch-Brite. That's fine. As it turns out, just a 5 thou cut cleaned up the surface beautifully. So I know now that that now is a nice diameter to start from. So the next step I need is I need to work on the smallest diameter first, which is 124 thou. So let's see what I'm at currently. So currently I am at 304 thou. So I'm now at 304 thou, which is quite nice. When I say 5 thou, I meant 5 thou on the dial. It's actually 10 thou because it doubles it, because this takes it off the radius, not the diameter, according to the dial. So currently at there, as you can see. So I need to come down to, what did I say? 124. So let's go down to 124. So let's start off. I'll zero my dial, which is there. Let's take 10, which would be 20 thou. See how she copes. Okay, that made a nice cut. I only did that nice small cut there, a short length, just to see how it would do. And that seems to have cut that quite nicely. That's lovely. Spindle's not heating up again, so that's also a bonus. That's good. Right, so the length of this shoulder. They're really stupid the way they've designed this document. You see, the way they've designed this look is they've done all the measurements from the front face, from the largest face to the back, which in my opinion is the most stupid way of doing it. When in the real world, when they come to produce, when someone comes to make this, you will start with the smallest and go to the biggest diameter on a lathe. So they clearly designed this with CNC in mind, not with actual hand machining in mind. But hey ho. So I now need to do a bit of maths and figure out whereabouts this length is here. Math isn't my strong point, so I will not do that on camera because I don't frankly want to embarrass myself or bore you to death. So I'll bring you right back once I've figured it out. So you probably can't see it because the light's probably shining wrong on it, but there is a mark on there now. Can't quite see it, there's a mark just there. So I'm just going to create a little line there so that I know where, so I can see where it is to do it. So just give me a sec. So that's there. Right, you can definitely see that now. Alright, let's come back in and touch off this again. Actually, I want to touch off on this diameter here. Yep. Let's go back into there. And let's take a cut again and see what happens up to that shoulder. Another 5, which would be 10. Let's go in another 5. Now let's give this a quick measure. Knock all the bits off. Come in with me little micrometer. Come in and give this a measure. Right, that is 250, 60, 61. So that is 261 currently. So if I take another 260, I need to get to 124. So let's take another. Let's take another 5 on the dial. Let's see how much that actually took off, just to make sure. Yeah, so there's now, I don't know if you can read that. So that is now 252. Now 252. Yes, 252. Alright. Me and maths don't go very well together. So I am getting very close to my centre. This could be an issue. This could be a big issue. I might not be able to do this with this collet chuck. Oh, for the joys of a small machine. Okay, let's give this another shot. I'm going to come back in over the side so I've got a bit more room. Let's take another. Let's take 20 thou this time aside, which is no. Let's take 10 thou aside, which obviously is 20. Let's see how that's going. So that is 225, 30, yeah, 235, 36, 237 that is. Let's see. 20. Yeah, I can do another 10th hour side. Do another 10th hour. This part is starting to get warm. That's 214. So I have some space to go, but I can't. I'm almost at the limit of my centre now. This is a problem, in that I can't come in here with a follow rest because I haven't got the space. Can't come in here with a steady rest, same reason. I think I may just have to do it like a couple of thou at a time, unsupported, which is going to be fun, to say the least. That's definitely going to be fun. Yep, let's whip my tail sock out the way. Clean that off as well. Right. The end of this shaft is so ridiculously thin, it's stupid. It's 124 thou. Which is that. Which is that diameter. Yeah, it is bonkersly small. Well, tell you what, seeing as I've got to do this in very, very small passes, let's do it in a bit of time lapse, shall we? So, that is one of the finest tolerances I've ever got. I'm literally about 2/10 shy. I'm 2/10 large on that diameter currently. I'd rather be slightly large than it being too small, because at least then I can sand it down if necessary. So the next diameter I need, which is the next shoulder length, is 249. And that needs to be... Gotta do some more maths again, because once again they've measured it all from the wrong fucking end, because people are idiots. But that's running true, so that's good. Right, again, let me do some more mathification and I will be right back. Okay, so I've been able to work out how far to go. I've actually marked it there. You won't be able to see it, but I've scratched in the line there where the shoulder needs to end up for this part of the shaft. I need to bring this down to 249 thou. It's currently at 305, so I haven't got too much to take off, but there's enough to warrant it, obviously, because otherwise they wouldn't have put it in the damn drawing. Right, again, I'm going to have to do this without tail support, because now this is too thin. If I try and use tail support and take heavier cuts on this, it'll bend this back of the shaft, and I don't want to bend it. So instead I'm going to go like I did with this one and just take it slow and steady and do another bit of a time lapse for you guys, because I don't want to bugger this up, because I don't have enough material to do another one if it fucks up. If it does fuck up, I'll have to try and just buy some more material locally and try and get it done if necessary. So let's do another fast forward bit and get this bit done. Okay, that has got that dimension down to size and to the correct length. So those shoulders are now with the correct length and diameters. Yeah, that's grand, that. That was fun, to say the least, but, you know, it's always interesting to do this kind of work. Now, the final shaft I've got to do is this side. I've got to do a length. Although actually, I don't need to turn the end down because there is no dimension for it. All I need to do is part it off at the length. What I think I may do instead is pull this out instead of parting it, use my bandsaw and just cut it off. And then bring it back here, put it back in the collet chuck the other way around, and then just face the end down, ready for doing the chamfer, and then spot drilling in the end for doing the drills and operations all the way through it. So let's call that on there for the moment. I'm happy with the diameters and things. The one thing I do want to try and do is just put a chamfer on these here, or chamfer if you want to favourite the Americans or annoy my mother, because she really does hate it when the Americans say chamfer. I don't know why, she just does. Ah well, she's old. She doesn't get down with the times, bless her. So that's that. Let me get my chamfer tool. Oh, I'm going to catch the camera, I think, guys. Oh, sorry, I caught you again. Well, it wouldn't be one of my videos without catching you guys, would it? Making you all seasick. See if I can just touch this end. Just enough to break the sharp corner. Nothing drastic, just enough to get rid of the sharp edge. Like that. There we go. Yep. Just removed any chamfers, any burrs on that now. And the part is nice and cool, so I know it's not going to shrink. So there, that is that. Now let's wind this back out of the way. And then let's, for the moment, turn this off. Don't want to risk it turning on accidentally while I'm spinning, I'm trying to undo the screw here. So what I'll do, I'll take this out, make sure I've got plenty enough length, and bring you back over at the bandsaw. So in the finish, I ended up using my hacksaw to cut it off because it wouldn't fit in the bloody bandsaw. Fucking typical that. Jaws, I need to make some extended jaws for that thing. I've got it in the collet again now, ready just to face it down to length. I'll probably take the part in and out a few times just to actually make sure I get it perfectly to the right length. So let's give this a shot. Okay, I'm gonna lock my carriage off there, primarily so I don't risk accidentally moving it, and then so I have a rough idea how far in I am. Although actually no, you idiot, I'm taking the part out, so it doesn't make any difference. So ignore me, I'm being an idiot again. I'm good at being an idiot apparently. Let's get that out of the way. Now let's crack this out. Let's take the part out. So that's how it's looking so far. Let me grab my calipers. This needs to be 250. It's ever so slightly long at the moment. So let me just pop it back in. And then just take another light cut off the end of it. What I can say is, considering this was a cheap import chuck, does do very well. As in, it, if I can find the bloody notch, it holds onto the stock really well, and it's incredibly accurate. I got very lucky with this one, I think. Alright, let's try that. Find the spindle lock. There we go. Now let's give that another measure. Oh, I caught your camera. I can't get in to show you properly right now. Sorry, guys. There we are. Smashing. Dead on. Perfectly to length. Main spindle. Now I've just got to chamfer this end and then drill right through it, which is the the bit I'm not looking forward to, shall we say. So So next step, we turn that off. So the next step now is to... I'm an idiot. No, I shouldn't have done that. I need to put a chamfer. It's called in the drawing for a chamfer to be on the end of this. It calls for a 1/32 chamfer, but I'm just going to do it till it looks nice. The chamfer isn't for registration purposes or anything like that. There's a taper that goes in here for registration purposes. The chamfer is purely for decorative reasons, like this one here. It's to break the edge, make it nice and smooth and look good. So actually, let me pop this back in. I don't need it too tight. There we go. Take that off, turn it back on. Switch to my chamfer tool. Knock the camera, make you all seasick again, because apparently that is my speciality for my channel, is making everybody seasick. Put in my chamfer tool. Again, making you all seasick. Before I do that, I'm going to kick it round. A notch. To make it a more gentle angle. Make sure that's out. Start it going. Now I am happy with that chamfer right there. That is as close enough as I need it to be. Like I said, it is purely decorative and just a convenience to make it look nice, basically. So now, that's all the turning operations on the external side of it done, which is rather tasty. Let's turn that off again. Find the spindle lock area. No, that's not it. There it is. And let's whip this out. There we go. So there we have the nice chamfer on the end. Nice 2 diameters there. Just got to do the drilling now, which is the bit I have been dreading. So first things first, I am going to think of how I'm going to do this and have a good think about this before I actually do it. Well, that'll do it for part 1 of the spindle. I know you wanted probably it to be one long video, but I've got a feeling, I mean I haven't put it in the editing software yet, but I have a feeling it's already going to be plenty long enough, this video, just doing those bits. I don't want to bore everyone to death with a super long video, so I've reached a good point now to stop this particular part of the video, and then I can have a proper think about how I want to fixture it correctly for drilling the various steps of holes that are in there, because I have to drill a reasonable sized, reasonable depth hole. In fact, I need to drill a hole that is 1 1/4 inches deep as a number 24 drill, and then I need to drill a number 51 drill right the way then through the rest of it. So that's going to be fun, to say the least. Then the after that then I also have to use a number 1 tapered reamer, which I have. I bought it at the same time I bought the kit, to then make the taper on for the register at the front of the spindle as well, and that needs to be a 1/2 inch depth itself, so it needs to have some very critical dimensions for depths of holes here. So I want to make sure I get this right, and then I've got to also set up to mill a flat for the set screw for the step pulley that goes on the end of it then to actually drive it. So yeah, that will be in the next video, so look forward to that, people. Well, once again, thank you all, as always, for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it and want to see more of my channel, do click that subscribe button, and then make sure you turn on notifications with the bell so you don't miss anything that I post. Thank you once again, people. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Cheerio. Hello everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to my garage. So, as I promised, the next video, I said that it would be... Fuck that, that was shit.